Hello to all MMA fans. Alexandra Abramova, the host of the SportLife program on the TV channel MMATV.com, is here with you. On November 27th, the next Gorilla MMA Series-45 Peter Strike event was held in St. Petersburg. The main part of the evening was the fight for the silver belt in a series winner between Yakov Ekimov and Denilson Matos with Ninja nickname. The most anticipated confrontation of the evening lasted 5 rounds, during which Yakov threw out 172 punches, 125 of which hit the target, against 97 from Denilson, where there were only 29 accurate ones. In the first round, the opponents entered the cage and confidently began the fight in the ring, but by the middle of the 5-minute, Ekimov took the Brazilian to the stalls. The Russian fighter punched several precise blows and then tried to demonstrate one of the techniques and forced Matos to surrender. But the opponent showed perseverance worthy of respect and was not going to knock on the canvas. The next 3 rounds followed a similar scenario. Throughout the entire duel, Yakov demonstrated good control of the fight and the correct expenditure of forces. Into the final 5th round, he came out fresh and full of energy, threw out a beautiful back fist, duels, and a high kick. And in the 2nd minute of the 9th second, the Ninja missed a powerful side kick from him. Tired and discouraged by Ekimov's speed, he could no longer defend himself from a barrage of blows. The referee stopped the fight, scoring the victory to the representative of Russia by a technical knockout. Recall that for Ekimov, this was the 12th in his career fight and the 7th in the series. For all the time, the fighter has not suffered a single defeat. Almost all the fights of the undefeated Ekimov ended with a simple or technical knockouts, and this confrontation was not an exception. The pupil of the club Kuznia Krasnodar repeated the achievement of his teammate Oleg Popov and became the second in our history owner of 2 belts of the winner in the Gorilla MMA series at once, bronze and silver ones. There was a plan for the fight. It was necessary to keep a distance with him, because the guy hits with knees well. He has a good boxing, without more of wrestling. Therefore, the first probably 3 rounds of the fight were wrestled. But as a rule, wrestling is the Brazilian's blood, probably BJJ. Tied all hands, scored well, and already in the 4th and 5th round went to the distance, to my manner, and already bit with the hands, without any struggle. Well, as you can see, it turned out as it should. In the current fight of the evening among heavyweights, Dmitry Andrushko dealt with Asif Abdurakhmanov without any problems. Andrushko's last appearance in the octagon of the series took place in October at the 42nd tournament in the city of Kingisepp. Then Dmitry defeated Anton Shipachyov at the end of the 2nd round. This time he dealt with his opponent at the beginning of the 2nd minute of the 1st round. The multiple champion of Russian Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Asif Abdurakhmanov, was shocked by the clear jab of the Mastiff, allowed his opponent to knock himself down on the canvas and to finish him off. Recovering a little, Asif tried to get up, but for this he received an even more furious series of finishing blows. As a result, the victory of Dmitry Andrushko in the 1st minute, 12th second of the 1st round by a technical knockout. Recall that all the fights of Andrushko in the series ended ahead of schedule in his favor. The last fight, it so happened that in the Gorilla MMA series, I spent in a wrestling kick, moved, scored. Today as I wanted to, and the fans and the coaches said that, in principle, that I can work striking, try to striking. Today we worked in the striking technique, everything worked out. Thanks to all the coaches, all the sparring partners, everyone who helped. Thanks to the boys today too. It is worth noting another interesting fight. Andrei Lebedev and Mamadiyar Ulu met in the 3rd most important match of the evening in the octagon. Andrei Lebedev's last fight in the series took place on March 6 at the Gorilla MMA Series-47 Time of New Heroes tournament. Then the pupil of the club Kuznia defeated Rufat Akhmedov with the help of a submission at the beginning of the 3rd round. This gave him the 4th victory in the series and the fact of getting into the nomination Fight of the Year of the MMATV.com Awards 2021. This time, his opponent was Kyrgyz athlete Mamadiyar Ulu, who entered the cage for the 1st time at the series tournaments. During the fight, the fighters exchanged powerful jabs and kicks in the ring, avoiding going into the wrestling. The total number of front punches of the opponents did not differ much, but Andrei turned out to be more accurate. As a result, in the 2nd minute of the 2nd round, Lebedev's jab caught his opponent, causing him to fall in shock. After Denilson received a series of finishing blows from above, the referee stopped the fight and recorded the 3rd victory of the Russian fighter by technical knockout in the series.
У нас такая есть небольшая предыстория этого поединка. Я совсем недавно начал свою профессиональную карьеру именно в ММА.
We have such a small background to this fight. I recently started my professional career in MMA. During the year, I had 4 fights in the series, and literally about 2 months ago, there was a previous one. And the same opponent wrote after each fight, gave it to me, I'll tear it up, and so on. And when I was offered to fight with him, I of course agreed and gave him the opportunity to disassemble me, turn me up as he wanted, but I dispelled his desires.
Меня разобрать, разорвать, как он хотел, но я развеял его, так сказать, желание.
That's not all the exciting fights of the evening. The winner of the contest became a fighter of the MMA series. Light heavyweight Alexander Ipashov could not win. His opponent was the debutant of the series, Artem Dushenko. Despite the fact that the fighters exchanged serious blows for more than half of the first round, a minute and a half before the gong, Dushenko took his opponent into the net, where he gave him several blows with the elbow and knee. After that, Artem dropped his opponent on the canvas and coolly finished him off in the mount of position. The referee stopped the fight and gave Dushenko an early victory. The record of the winner of the contest become an MMA fighter of the series, Alexander Ipashov, is now 1-2 in his career and 1-1 in the series. We wish him to cheer up and return to the cage for victory in the nearest future. You can see the results of the remaining fights of the event on your TV screens. Separately, we know the fight of 2 debutants of the Gorilla MMA Series-45, Peter Struck, Umar Vitargov, and Igor Slivka. Their fight lasted almost 3 full rounds, according to the results of which Igor received his first defeat in the series with 3 career wins. Thanks to the successful submission, Umar's record at our events is now 1-0 in professional MMA 5-2. Anton Shipachyov turned out to be weaker than Vyacheslav Gorbunov, giving him the victory by submission in a minute before the end of the second round. Leonard Akhmedov replenished his record with a second successful fight in the series with 0 defeats in a duel against Yuri Dukhovsky. He registered this victory by a decision of the judges following the results of 3 full rounds. Successfully began their career in professional MMA, Denibekov Bektimir and Samsel Vyacheslav, who turned out to be stronger in a duel against their rivals, Yuldashov Bakhtiyor and Ibragimov Farhod. In both cases, the victories were awarded by the judges after the end of the 3-round fights.
Первый бой, он всегда особенный.
The first fight is always special. It's like your first love. You always mess up.
Всегда накосячишь. Опыт уже присутствовал.
The experience was already gained presenting in the amateur competitions, but that didn't stop me from getting damage from my respected opponent. So there was no excitement as such, but still the emotional component played a role.
Не было, но все равно эмоциональная составляющая сыграла свою роль.
Shamsheev Ruslan begins his journey in the world of big sports with a victory. He defeated Anarboyev Marjan by knockout in the second round. Krolikov Farouk had his second successful fight, taking victory from Kirill Vasilyev by technical knockout in the first round. Abdullayev Shukrat, who did not get his first laurel wreath with 9 defeats, this time lost to Evgeny Simonov by a submission at the end of the first round. The MMATV.com Awards 2021 will be held very soon. The time for summing up is approaching. Let's analyze another nomination, Knockout of the Year. At the last tournament, Gorilla MMA Series-45, Peter Struck, 2 nominees from the category of interest to us performed at once. Yakov Ekimov, who knocked out Douglas Felipe at the 36th event and won the title of the winner, as well as Akhmedov Leonard with his fastest victory in the history of the series at the 4th second of the first round at the 42nd tournament in the duel against Sharipov Orzubek. Dorkaji Babayev can also take the first place in the nomination thanks to his victory over Egyptian Mahmoud Afia in the first round at the 13th event held within the framework of Emirates C007. The next contender is Alexei Shurkevich and his fight with Kamaldinov Islam at our Super Tournament Gorilla MMA Series-33 in Barica. On September 18 in Serbia at the 40th event of the series, Viktor Kolesnik gave William Diaz a knockout also worthy of winning the nomination. And the last participant of the vote will be Alexander Kiryanov, who took the victory over Anton Belausov at his first fight in the series on February 20th in the Gorilla MMA Series-26 Fight Ride. The next event, Gorilla MMA Series-46 Almaty, will be held in Kazakhstan. Alexander Hanif from Russia will enter the cage against Osmanbek Okaniev from Tajikistan, and Roman Kurosov will fight for the bronze belt of the winner of the Gorilla MMA Series against Alexander Likhalatov from Uzbekistan in the main fight of the evening. Watch the TV channel MMATV.com, follow our events, play sports, and be healthy.